Hi guys, today I want us to talk about why deposit payment is a non-negotiable in the crochet business and why it is non-refundable, right? So there are usually four kinds of customers in the crochet business. There is the one that comes to you to ask for a product, and then you discuss about the product, you give them the price of the product, and they actually pay for the full amount and give you the time to work on the project, and when it is done you deliver the project. That is a personal favorite for most of us. Then there is customer number two. They will come ask about a product, to tell them the amount. They will pay the deposit amount, let's say 60%. They will pay it and then wait for you to finish the project, and when you are done, they pay up the remaining amount and then you deliver the product, right? That is another favorite customer of ours. Then there is number three and number four. Client number three can actually come. They will pay some part of the deposit, not the actual percentage, and then during the time when you're making the product, they will come again and tell you, oh, I don't want that product anymore, can you refund me the deposit? So the question is, where am I supposed to take this yarn that I had purchased to make the dress or the sweater or the whatever the item was that you wanted? You see, crochet is a highly customizable business, whereby most of the products that we make, they are done customized according to the taste and preference of the specific client, right? So if client number one wanted a green dress in a size small with a specific pattern, right? And now they don't want the dress and they want me to actually refund the deposit that they had paid. So who am I going to sell this dress to that I had already started making with the green yarn and the sizing and the preferences that they want? So it becomes actually difficult to dispose of that project, right? So when you pay a deposit in the crochet business, it acts as a commitment fee. And the reason why we tend to ask for, let's say, 60% of the amount rather than 50% is because your initial amount is actually higher than what you will be required to pay when the project is finished. So it will be a bit easier for you to pay up when it is finished, right? And we have then client number four. This one comes to you and is like, how about you make that item for me and I will pay you when you're done. This person, they don't want to pay the deposit. That means they don't want to make a commitment to getting this product, right? But they expect you to make the product for them, deliver it to them, and then they will pay you, because they tend to have trust issues, right? They tend to think that maybe you're going to shortchange them. So suppose you take up that client who is not even willing to pay a deposit, and then when you are done with the project, they are nowhere to be found. So you have a dress that had no deposit, an item that is highly customized that you can sell to anyone else, and now you have incurred the loss in terms of the cost of the materials and the time that you used to make that product, right? So that is why in the crochet business, we usually tend to ask for a deposit that is non-refundable. And the reason it is non-refundable is because the fact that the client knows that the deposit is non-refundable, they will ascertain that after the project has been finished and it has been made in accordance to their specific taste, then they are going to pay up the remaining amounts, right? And if the client is not willing to pay for the remaining amount, then the deposit that they paid acts as a cushion to cushion you from the losses that you incur, because most probably that item you've made, it is going to be a dead stock, because getting the customer who actually wants that product, it can be really hard. But in an instance where you get someone who is willing to take up that product and they are going to pay the actual value of the product, then in that instance, you can pay back, you can refund the deposit to the person who paid it once that product they wanted has been cleared out of your stock. Otherwise, the product it becomes a loss, because it is a loss in terms of the cost of the materials, about the opportunity cost of the time that you used to make that product that you could have used to make for a client who was actually willing to pay for another different product, right? So that is why deposit is usually necessary in the crochet business. It is to ensure that the customer who comes to you is actually committed to getting that product, and that you, as the business owner, it works as a cushion for you to reduce your losses, right? So next time when a client comes to you and wants to get your crochet product with no deposit, no commitment fee whatsoever, let them understand that you don't do that kind of business. Because most of the time that kind of client is not really going to pick that product. Most of them are usually jokers who just come, ask for a product. They are majorly just doing a survey of the product, and you will tend to have so much stock of things that you have made that you now have to work on trying to figure out how you're going to dispose them, because the people who wanted them somehow left, right? But if you make sure that the clients that you pick are paying deposits for the products that you want, the amount of dead stock that you have as a crocheter actually tends to be less, because most of the clients who are willing to pay a deposit are also willing to see to the completion of the project, right? And for those who actually come to ask for a refund, it is usually because maybe something came up that changed their situation, or maybe they are having difficulties. And then in an instance like that, you can discuss with the clients on how to go about it, maybe how to go about the payments, how to go about getting someone who is willing to take up the product, right? So next time, make sure you ask for a deposit.